This is Chilling.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to the best of the good life. Whew, what a Friday evening that we're having, that is very superb, that is full of magic, but it's just about to get more interesting and more fashionable because we have a fashionista on the show. She's an incredible person that is trying to push the boundary of fashion everywhere, to be known elsewhere apart from where she comes from. You know, she's putting Uganda on the forefront and she's doing an amazing job at that. This lady, I'm going to be talking more about her later on, but before that I want to remind you about Annex Shoes, who are located at Capital Center, and they also have a new branch in Tinda, just opposite Shell. These guys have casual shoes, gentle to mention but a few. You can just reach out and then they can sort you out. Also, I want to remind you about Gazelle Guest House that is located along Bukasa Road, that is in Muyenga. It's a hidden gem. You can come here and chill out and just get lost in the moment. Look at the aesthetics of the world, guys. Come on, this is magic, right? It's beyond beauty. When you come here, you'll be astonished. The hair is so serene. You can just smell royalty when you arrive here. All right, much of the babbling, so I have to introduce my guest. Wyne is a Ugandan-born, Barcelona-based fashion designer whose work embodies a dialogue between form and feeling, tradition and innovation, Africa and Europe. Her vision has resonated across borders and disciplines. This fashion house stands for a deeper form of luxury, one anchored in responsibility through discreet alliance with on-the-ground social projects. You know, every creation carries with it the quiet dignity and solidarity. You know, I'm mentioning all this and talking about all this, you're like, this guy, what is he trying to do? He's trying to be poetic, but I mean each and every word that I've uttered, because you are going to be astonished when you meet this young lady. I mean, her fashion brand is everything you can ever imagine. So don't move an inch. Please hang with us and stay with us. This is the best of the good life, and welcome to one of the best shows. And I'm your host, Drago. So stay with us.
Before the lights, before the runways, there is the vision.
I think every woman, every girl loves fashion because we just love to dress up.
It is not just about what you wear. It is about how it makes you feel.
You have to reimagine stuff. If you decide, oh, I'm going to do, I don't know, bell bottoms because the big brands are doing bell bottoms. Next week, they're not going to be doing bell bottoms.
Hello, good evening, guys, and welcome back to the best of the good life. Oof, such a beautiful Friday evening. We are slowly drifting into the weekend, and I love this moment where I have to get all of you in one bubble and get to introduce to you fantastic people each and every episode that comes. Thank you for the love. Thank you for showing all the support. Man, I love the pandemonium. This is great. It feels great to be in this space. I always tell my guests that this is like literally my best comfort zone. Like whenever I'm sat here, I feel like the world stands still and I'm just having a moment of my life. Today, we are so delighted to have an incredible guest. You are going to love her. This guest is a futuristic and an icon fashion person. She's slowly trying to push boundaries and trying to get Uganda on the world map, which she's doing a great job because she has done this literally for like forever. Now, who am I talking about? She's an incredible lady. Okay, let me do my best, try to introduce her. Wyne is known for her bold and poetic approach to fashion, celebrating African identity and diasporic narratives through design, and her garments have been worn on red carpets and cultural stages across Europe. To wear Wyne is to invest in more than craftsmanship, it is to inhabit a story and extend its impact. Sorry, I was meaning craftsmanship. You know, English can really slap you in all directions. Ladies and gentlemen, the majestic, the incredible, the queen of fashion, Wyne is on the show. I get to cover all this just for one person.
Just for me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
How
you.
are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
You know what they say, East or West, home is best.
Always.
It's so lovely to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
How long are you gonna be here?
2 months. We're going to be around for 2 months.
Yeah.
We're having our tour around East Africa,
Yeah.
but we are concentrating this time around in Uganda and Kenya, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So guys in South Africa, my friends are not gonna have a chance.
Unfortunately, no.
No, thanks to your team and Gerard and the
Yes.
whole entourage of people that are trying to. I saw the itinerary. I saw like the catalog, the program you have, and it's so amazing. And I'm one there. I'm like item number 12. I was like, whoo, I should just pinch myself. I made it to your website.
No. It is really such an honor to always come back home and actually talk to people that are at home, that are on ground, especially when it comes to fashion. Because you cannot just talk about things that you do not know. So you have to come up to the grassroots and then experience it yourself. So it's always an honor when I get to receive emails from people that are from here or get to sit down with people that are actually in fashion here.
Okay.
And so having this conversation with you, for me, it's such a pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, those people are the ones we're going to discuss about some time to come. But hey, kudos, give me a high five. Thank you for whatever you're doing. I've been reading your link, the intro link, and you're doing amazing things. You're trying to push the boundary. And as a female, cannot be so easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well done. I love this. I love this. And so, let's talk about your childhood, growing up, you know, before we jump into the whole scene of fashion and how fashion you came to marry each other. But which kind of a child? Tujize mu Luganda. Oli Luganda. Tujja kwogera. No, I mean, I don't know why I'm even forcing my language in English.
We can speak in both. We can speak in both. When it refuses, we sleep.
I'm kidding. The main language is English. So, but you also, you're Muganda literally, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about your background.
I am from the Ngavi clan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Ngavis.
The Ngavi.
Your girl is here.
Ngavi girl.
Yeah.
And I come from a really small family of 3 kids.
Okay.
Me being the last born. I have a brother and a sister, and that's it. With a mom, and that's it basically. Because my dad passed away when I was 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically my childhood has been me, my brother, my sister, and my mom. So that is it. That is the entire family of ours. And how
was it like growing up from where you grew up from? You grew up from Kampala, right?
I grew up partially in Kampala and partially in Mbarara.
Okay.
Majority of my childhood I was in Mbarara.
Okay.
I was born in Mbuya. I lived in Mbuya at Ismail Road for about 5 years.
Ooh.
And then I moved to Mbarara.
What sort of impact did it have on you as a child growing up around Kampala, the city center, that culture shock? How was it like?
I mean, growing up within Kampala was fun.
Yeah.
Because my brother is a very active guy, so we were usually up and down running around the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So it was really cool. I remember us going to the missionary house because it was literally opposite our home. Yeah. And the guy that used to work there used to give us like fruits from the missionaries and stuff like that. So I remember strawberries mainly. Yeah, that's what I remember. I just remember going, I always love to visit that place because
is that missionary still around?
I really don't know. Because after 5, I moved to Mbarara. And I was living in Mbarara for until I was 9.
You know what's funny, Kirabo, is how vivid we all have childhood memories. There's always that one thing that can never slip out of your mind, and you're glued onto it. You're like, I remember this place for this and that. But Mbuya was such a good exposure to you in terms of so tell me more about your siblings. And please, I know this for sure, with my little research I've done, fashion is not like a family thing.
No, it's not so much.
And you did something to do with microfinance and stuff like that. How did fashion, first of all, as a child, did you have any whisper about it as a child? Did you used to admire those or look at idols or fashion TV? Look at you, you're shaking your head.
Because I never.
It's just like a betrayal to the culture. Like, yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I never.
Okay.
I never really like played with dolls like that and dressed them up or all these things that girls do. I never did that.
Right.
I just did kid things, and most of the time I was with my brother and we were playing around, and I was excuse me, and I was playing around with the tires.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to like when the maid would
all
finish
did.
to wash the clothes.
Yeah.
And we used to use that water with a bit
Yeah.
of soap and put it in the tires and
Yeah.
just run around the neighborhood.
So fun. That's the only wheel I wish I keep on driving, because it doesn't have any restrictions.
It's affordable. It has
Yeah.
no restrictions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is it. I really never played with dolls like that, or played around with fabrics and colors and stuff like that.
So how did fashion come to fall on your lap?
I think I did not really notice a particular moment when it fell in my laps. I think for me it was more like, I think every woman, every girl loves fashion because we just love to dress up. So I thought that is how life is. It's like when you know that boys wear blue as kids, boys wear blue and the girls wear pink.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't know why, but that's how it is. So that's what fashion was to me. It was, oh yeah, I love clothes. Women love clothes. That's why I love clothes.
Miss Kirabo, I will shock you. When you got a bit older, you notice that that's just a myth, right?
Yeah.
The biggest people in fashion are male. You know this, right? You're from Barcelona, and you know what I'm talking about. You're from Europe. So, yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, you weren't so girly as a child and all that. Okay, so tell me, flash forward. The fashion scene in Barcelona, how is it like? It is
kind of different from here.
Okay. So much different.
Yeah. First, because the weather determines how the fashion should go.
Definitely,
so if it's really cold, people are layered up in jackets and sweaters and all of that, which you cannot really do here in Kampala because it's really hot. Well, not that hot as over there in summer, but it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that immediately determines where the fashion style should go. But mostly it will go into the colors and the silhouettes. Yeah, the colors there are a bit more muted than they are over here.
They don't like it so loud.
They don't like it so loud.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, especially with the prints. Yeah, they are known to print people like that. They are more of solid color.
Yeah.
Like if they're wearing purple, it's just a purple color. They are not purple with flowers or purple with geometry or stuff like that. They are more plain, bold color. Like this is the color, that's the color, no print. But besides that, I would say they are a bit more explosive in terms of trying to tap into different types of fashion. Like you can meet people on the streets of Barcelona wearing more classic, and then you'll find people wearing a bit more hipster. So there is like a mix of different fashion trends. Yeah, there are people that are wearing more 90s like the big bell bottoms and all of that, and huge boots that has a huge heel and stuff like that. But besides that, I think.
How do you even manage a girl from Uganda down in the shebangs of Uganda keep up with such trends? You keep up with that fast-paced fashion world. As in, how did you adopt? How was the adaptation like?
I mean, number one, I decided never to follow trends.
Oh,
because
wow.
it's too much to keep up with, especially in Europe where you have fast fashion brands like Zara, Mango. These people release a new collection every week. So if you go to their shop today, next week you go there. If you don't buy what you've seen today, you're not going to buy it next week. It's not in the shops anymore. So it's that point of, if you are a young designer, you cannot follow up with that. So you have to reimagine stuff. If you decide, oh, I'm going to do, I don't know, bell bottoms because the big brands are doing bell bottoms. Next week, they're not going to be doing bell bottoms. You do not have that kind of financial pim pam boom, like we call it over there, to keep going. Yeah, like it's not, like, you know, that it's available like that. You have the money to do the collections according to the seasons. Like, okay, it's winter, let's see what can we come up with. Okay, you know, that kind of stuff. But if you are to go on their pace, you can't. So I decided not to follow any trend.
The very first time you saw your material, your fashion, your clothes on a runway or on a red carpet, how was the feeling like? Can you describe it for us?
It was
The very first time,
yeah,
Kirabo.
yeah.
That's okay. That dala. No, waka experiencing, you know.
It was surreal, honestly, because I think my first runway, I did not think that I'm going any further.
Okay.
Because you know you've just graduated from fashion school, from uni, and it's like, okay, let's see. Because when I graduated, and then the modeling agency that had given us models for the final project, they were organizing a runway, and they sent in an invite for all the people that had graduated that year if we would like to showcase in their runway. And I remember a lot of us said, yeah, we will. And then all of a sudden, people started falling off, and I stayed alone.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, he invited the school, but I'm the only one left. Yeah. Everyone else has fallen off. And I was nervous, obviously, because all of a sudden, I had to showcase 3 looks.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be it. 3 looks, and then the other classmates also present 3 looks, and we present as a school. And then all of a sudden, there was no school, there was me. And now they could not present me as a school, they had to present me as me.
Yeah.
So that is how my first runway went.
Wow.
So it was all of a sudden kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then she told me, unfortunately, you have to make more pieces.
Yeah.
Because now if you are alone, unless you don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, no, I would like to do it. And she's like, but you're alone, we cannot present you at the school.
Yeah.
So you have to produce more pieces. And at that point, I was doing internship as well. So I just fumbled with everything. I was just like, let's see. And I just came up with something and I put it out there.
We're going to a break. We shall be back shortly with Miss Winnie Kirabo. You know, I'm gonna still find out and try to dig further and find out how she put a spin of Wyne Kirabo and how that came into existence. All right, don't move an inch. Stay with us. This is the best of the good life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the show. Today we have whom we call a fashion powerhouse. This lady, I love her so much because it's like literally you could just have this sentimental feeling like she has really put in a lot to just even reach where she is. Definitely she has. If you are just living under a rock, you have to know, and you're not familiar with this brand, we're going to know everything about Wyne Kirabo and the brand that everyone is talking about. It's on everybody's lips. I mean, across Europe, everywhere in Asia. I mean, it's taking over like wildfire, and it's all kudos to you and your partner who is going to be introduced onto the show later on another part. But I want to understand, your original name is Winnie Kirabo
Namatovu.
So tell me, how did Wyne Kirabo come? I mean, how did you come to name your brand like that?
Okay, so initially the name was Black Beauty.
Oh, Black Beauty.
Yes,
Ooh,
because
just like
because my dad used to call me Black Beauty.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever he used to come back home, he would be like, "Where is my Black Beauty?" Da, 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 da. So that is why at first I had called it Black Beauty.
Yeah.
And then I decided to call it Wyne Kirabo because between consulting and going through fashion school, it teaches you a little bit about branding and everything. And I wanted something that much as Black Beauty was relatable to me, it was also, number one, marketing-wise, it was already taken all over because of the novel Black Beauty. Yeah. And so it was a lot of marketing that has to happen before you go to the top. So we decided to go with Wyne Kirabo.
Something more botanical.
Yeah.
Wasn't it sort of strange to these our European brothers and sisters?
But
like,
you could
Kirabo, how do they even pronounce that? I'm sure they have a problem pronouncing your brand.
I think most of them struggle more with Wyne than Kirabo.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they struggle more with Wyne than Kirabo.
Okay.
Crazy. But yeah, so for Wyne, I had a dear friend of mine that passed away. That when we were in school, because he was like a brother, because he was called Muonge, and he used to call me Wyne, and it just grew like that, you know, like when you're in school, teenagers, and then it became like a name that most of my friends knew me from. Like whenever you said Wyne, they knew it was me.
Yeah.
So it was also part of me. So when it was time to rebrand, it made more sense than to say Winnie Kirabo as a brand. It just made more sense as Wyne Kirabo. So we went with Wyne Kirabo, basically.
Yeah, so for the person that are just knowing about Wyne Kirabo as a brand, I mean, tell us, what kind of particular fashion do you follow? Is it luxury? Is it more of couture? Give them the picture. They try to understand. Because during the interview still, we're going to be flashing some of these images for them to get more acquainted with the brand.
So basically, Wyne Kirabo dresses an empowered woman. We are dressing someone that knows what they want.
Okay.
If you are dilly-dabbing around, maybe you will find it difficult when you go to our website to acquire a piece. But when you know what you want, that is the kind of person we are looking for. Wyne Kirabo is also a brand that its pride is in mixing cultures, because I've grown up in Uganda and I have studied fashion in Europe. So I am trying to merge these two cultures so that a European can feel comfortable wearing our pieces, and at the same time, an African woman can feel comfortable wearing our pieces.
Great.
So that is what Wyne Kirabo is specifically. It's a mix of cultures. We pride in diversity, basically.
Okay.
So if something is diverse, that is where we are. And we like to represent both sides. Granted that we are from two different places, from Uganda and from Europe. And you'll see it presents itself in our designs as well.
You know, I understand this is a talent, but you have to think about the business aspect of it all. I mean, how have you managed to make, literally, I could say, a living out of this? How have you tried to commercialize it on your part as a person?
I think it has been mainly thinking about it as a business, more than a hobby.
Yeah.
And I think that is where every business starts from. If you start to think about, I'm buying a border to make money, you will make the money, because that is why you're stepping on the stages. However, if you buy the motorbike to see if you can probably one day be a border rider, you will not, because it's like, Kati, I want to drive to I don't know where. And then you go. You instead of picking clients, your brain is saying, Kati njaga geta wa mama gundi to pick my own things, you know. So the one who has driven the same distance like you and have picked up a client, because they are thinking about that as a business, they are making money. Meanwhile, you're driving to do your own business. Yeah. So I think that is where it started from, is to look at it as a business, not a hobby. And of course, the marketing behind it, you know, because everything is about marketing. I could make the most incredible dress and it could be seated in my closet somewhere at home, you know, or I could put it on a model, do a photo shoot, and make sure that it's communicating to my client, number one. That is the most critical thing. It has to communicate to my client and then put it out there and market it and see where it goes. And that is how I've been able to do it.
You know, back there you've spoken about other brands, and I mean, you're in Europe and you cannot bury your head in the sand and not understand that you're in a pool or a sea of brands like Chanel, Dior, you know, these European brands. As a brand that originally has an African touch, which I think can play an advantage or for you. How has this sat in with you? Like you competing with, if assumingly you working on the same stage with the other brands, you performing on the same stage with the other brands, doesn't it amount so much pressure on you?
No.
Okay, you tell me, because I would love to know this show, like really?
No, it doesn't, because at the end of the day, we all know who we are serving, yeah? Okay. We all know which client we are looking out for, and I don't know for sure that the client that Chanel is serving is the client that I'm serving, you know? Because number one, their mission is totally different from my mission. So at the end of the day, the right client decides on where to go, you know? Like I was telling one friend of mine that if we go to a shop, I'll see a dress and I'll say it will look good on my sister. but then I cannot buy it because it doesn't look good on me. So there is that appreciation, and then there is me actually buying the outfit.
How can people get in touch with you?
You can find us on Wyne Kirabo across all platforms,
Okay.
basically, yes.
On
Wyne
X,
Kirabo, Wyne with a
Instagram.
Y.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, wine with a Y.
Not
wine
I
with
for...
Yeah. I mean, the evening, yeah, we understand we're into the evening, but it's not yet time to pull out the bottles, but yeah. All right, so we'll be back next week with another fantastic show. So we're still here with our fantastic guest, and we're going to add another person, to make it more fun and interesting. Bye, and see you next week.
Here in Uganda,
Next
I came
week
here
on
to record
Chilling.
a documentary. When I was around here, so I met her, and love came. And
Wait, you met here?
Yeah.
In Uganda?
In Uganda. I was here for 2 years.
How so?
That was 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah, around
Live.
there, 12, 13 years.
Yes, and I was filming a documentary with a colleague.